And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, we've got an action-packed one for you today. As you can read in the title, we are going to be going over the shock Alisson Becker news ahead of Arne Slot's arrival this summer, whilst also going through the results yesterday that seen the Reds draw 3-3 with Aston Villa in Jurgen Klopp's last away game, whilst also rounding up all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. So yes, as stated, a lot to go through. But let's start, of course, with Jurgen Klopp's last away game as the Reds manager. Yes, of course, we drew 3-3 with Aston Villa, which was a very, for a neutral, I suppose, was a very exciting game. Again, going into this one, really, we're not really playing for anything. We've kind of confirmed third. We've got Champions League. We can't go any higher. All these kind of things. It's kind of been the same now for the last couple of games. However, look, as a fan base, as the players, we're probably wanting to send off Jurgen Klopp in the best possible manner. So, of course, we do want to win those games and try and, as I said, send him off in the best possible way. It did start perfectly for Liverpool, of course, as Martinez made a mistake on the second minute, which seen us take the lead. However, 10 minutes later, Tielemans managed to get one back. However, that didn't last long as Gakpo then scored, and then Liverpool went on to make it 3 with Kwanzaa. And then that was it. I thought that was the job done. However, of course, into the last 10 minutes of the 90, or should I say last 5 minutes of the 90, Duran manages to get 2 for Aston Villa, which managed to see them get a draw and sees them a bit closer towards that Champions League spot. Again, look, to be fair, I don't really know. I don't really think much Liverpool fans really care too much about the performances at this moment in time. As stated, we do want to give Jurgen Klopp the best possible send-off, but with regards to it right at the end of the season now, we're not really playing for anything, so I don't think it's a real representation of what our players are like. But yeah, we move on to the last one, of course, that being Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, which will be Klopp's last hurrah, last game as Liverpool manager, which is pretty sad, really sad thinking about it, to be perfectly honest. Now, there's been a lot coming over this, well, especially being in May, really. We've updated you in regards to the hierarchy at the football club changing, a lot of people going out, a lot of people coming in, as I stated, Julian Ward now coming back as well. And as like I keep you up to date with all of the sort of backroom team, Pep Lijnders has been one that, of course, has been, is definitely going to be leaving with Jurgen Klopp. And there has been more reports now linking him with another job. Yes, this comes from Fabrizio Romano and Paul Joyce, the most reputable within the Liverpool space. But they said Pep Lijnders is set to move into management this summer, and the Liverpool assistant is now the subject of strong interest from an intriguing club. Yes, Lijnders, whose time on Merseyside predates that of Jurgen Klopp, will depart along with the manager at the end of the campaign. That comes with a view of wanting to step into management, with his only previous experience being a brief spell in charge of NEC Nijmegen before returning to the role of assistant manager at Liverpool. His next steps could benefit the Reds too, with the Times' Paul Joyce reporting that RB Salzburg are now interested in making Lijnders as their new coach. Salzburg, who are 2 points off Sturm Graz at the top of the Austrian Bundesliga with 1 game to play, sacked Gerhard Struber last month, with sister club FC Liefering Unach now stepping up on an interim basis. Ajax and Besiktas have previously been credited with an interest in Lijnders, but overtures from Austria are described as the strongest. From Lijnders' part, Joyce reports that he sees the opportunity as the perfect step into his career, which suggests that a move could develop very quickly. Whatever job he takes, he will be supported by Victor Mauratos, who will vacate his post as Liverpool's elite development coach this summer. That connection could aid Liverpool, not least as the relationship with the RB Group already being strong. Salzburg have already conducted business with the Reds over Minamino, with Michael Edwards able to discover a bargain release clause in the forward's contract. Liverpool have also signed Dominic Szoboszlai, Ibrahima Konate, Naby Keita from RB Leipzig in recent years, while Fabio Carvalho spent admittedly a poor loan spell there this season. Edward has struck a friendship within the Salzburg and Leipzig, which included consultation on the former training ground before the redevelopment of the XA training centre. And with the 44-year-old returning in the position as CEO for Fenway Sports Group, it is a no-brainer that Salzburg, with Linders and Matos in tow, could provide a useful avenue. That could largely come in terms of loans to the Austrian side, particularly as the coaching duo are not only familiar with but are fierce advocates of the young talent at Liverpool. But it may also work the other way, as though no cut price deal would be offered, it is undeniable that productive relationships at boardroom level can smooth over transfer talks. Salzburg are also guaranteed a place in the Champions League qualifying round for next season, but finishing top would see them into the competition proper. So as you can see, Pep Linders is a wanted man. Again, look, to be fair, for your first job, having Ajax, Besiktas and now Salzburg being linked is pretty good going, to be fair. Some pretty big clubs and a pretty big jobs for his first step into management. But as stated, Paul Joyce is reporting that it does look like it could be RB Salzburg where he goes to. Now, moving into some shock Alisson Becker news, there has been a lot of talk with regards to potential players who could leave this summer, players that could come in, and to be fair, there's some players that you just don't really think that could be brought in with transfer rumours and all these kind of things, but it does say, reports are stating that Alisson is the subject of extreme interest ahead of the transfer window, and Saudi Arabian clubs want him this summer. Yes, after the Mo Salah saga last summer, it was unclear whether there would be an influx of bids from the Middle East this time around. That appears likely to be the case, with the Telegraph reporting interest from the Saudi Pro League in a number of high-profile Premier League players. Those include Manchester United pair Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, with the latter having already held talks as up to 10 marquee signings are expected. Worryingly though, Burt adds that an ambitious move is being mulled over for Alisson, along with fellow Brazil goalkeeper Ederson. It comes after moves to Saudi Arabia for both Roberto Firmino and Fabinho last year, with the pair now settled at Al Hilal and Al Ittihad respectively. Liverpool's number one is known to be close to the pair, having struck a strong bond during their time together on Merseyside, with Firmino even baptised in the poor Alisson's home. That the same property was advertised for sale earlier this year could be telling, though all involved at Anfield will be hoping that Alisson is not preparing to move on. The 31-year-old is tied to a deal that expires in 2027, and if any interest from Saudi Arabia is firmed up, it would likely take a phenomenal offer for Liverpool to even consider Alisson. Though he has suffered a number of injuries issues throughout the 6 seasons at the club so far, he is considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But with almost wholesale change off the pitch this summer, led by Jurgen Klopp's departure, it would be no surprise certain players are considering their future. Kelleher stood in admirably during a lengthy spell on the side as Alisson was injured, and the Irishman has been expected to push for a transfer in order to secure a starting spot. Liverpool could allow Adrian to leave on a free transfer with his deal up on July 1st. The club will also see long-serving goalkeeper coach John Achterberg depart his post along with Klopp, with the Dutchman touted with a move to Saudi Arabia of his own to join up with Steven Gerrard. It remains to be seen if Taffarel, who is brought in from the coaching stable on recommendation from Alisson himself, will also leave. So, as you can see there, guys, we are definitely in the middle of May, and again, reputable sources are stating that Saudi Arabia are interested in Alisson Becker. If you want my opinion on it, I don't think that's going to happen. However, unfortunately, you've seen a lot of shock moves happen last summer, and obviously money talks in this day and age, and if there is a, £200 million bid for him, then, there could be conversations had. But, look, listen, I don't think that is going to happen, but it's coming from good sources regardless. So, yeah, do let me know your thoughts on that down there in the comment section below. And if you were to sell Alisson, how much would he be worth, in your opinion? From Saudi Arabian clubs, of course. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.